is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
Love you all. Now, I'm going to walk you through some common sense that I common sense. You tell me, maybe I'm a complete nutbag and it won't be the first time, and it won't be the first time that I'm wrong or anything like that. Okay? So apparently he has only waived his no trade clause for the Dolphins. He only wants to play for this team. Correct? Okay. So I'm not stupid, and neither are you. Don't you think that Chris Greer and Watson's agent have already talked about this over the last couple of months, that he's dying to play for you and he's only going to waive the trade clause for you? Don't you think that's gone on already? Right? Correct. Okay. So as a team, you know he wants to play for you and he only waives a trade clause for you. So if you're the Dolphins, why not tell the agent in the offseason, before the preseason starts, say, hey, we're not going to talk about this anymore. All right? At the end of the year, when your client is through all his issues and we can trade Tua, we will then make the move for you. Got it? Cool. Why? I need this year distraction free. I don't want people thinking we're trading for DeShaun. I don't want people knowing that we want DeShaun. So I'm going to do my best to guide us through and lead Tua all year long. Please do your best to shut it down and say, we're not interested in any teams right now. We want to get through our legal issues, yada, yada. And then when we get to next year, then we turn it up. I'll trade Tua, then we'll make the move. Why not do that? And then you have a distraction-free year. The year's tough enough as it is at 1-6. You don't have the trade talk. Tua's not thinking about it. He thinks he's the guy, plays more comfortable. Everybody else is more comfortable. You try to have the best year possible with Tua, and we hope that the next 10 games are strong for Tua. And then you've built up the value, and now you can go unload Tua. But now you've created a mess, because now you have told everybody that you're in for Watson, all in, and he's coming for you, and now you're forced to give away Tua. So now you're going to get less in return for Tua. Am I crazy for thinking something like that? I mean, if he's only going to waive his no trade clause for the Dolphins, then what are you doing? You're not negotiating against anybody. You're negotiating with yourself and the Texans. To play what? A guy in a year that is dead? You can't play him this year behind that line. You're not going to win anything. He won 4 games last year, throwing 4,800 yards, 33 touchdowns, and 7 interceptions. And so why put yourself at risk to acquire a guy in a lost season that you risk him getting injured if you put him behind that line? And then what happens in the offseason if he is still found innocent, but they still are going to suspend him because of the dirty nature of everything? Or if he's guilty and now he's going to serve jail time and suspension, and then you won't be able to use him even more. So why not wait till the dust settles, since he wants to come to you anyway, and you can build Tua's value up without distractions, get rid of him without distractions, then make your move for Watson. Why not do that? Why constantly put your name out there? Why constantly talk to Houston? Why allow your name to be out there? Why allow it to pollute your locker room? Why allow it to pollute your quarterback? Why allow it to pollute the relationship with your quarterback and your team? Why allow it that it may not be able to help you create the best possible scenario for him so you can actually build his trade value? Is it just me? Please tell me on the text line. Am I crazy here? I mean, if this is the way it's going to work out, then I'd rather take my chances and try to do it the other way. This way, you're still not going to trade for him by the deadline because all the legal issues are there. In the offseason, you still have to deal with all the offseason issues. So all you've done is create a bigger mess than what it is. and created and more of a detriment on your current roster. Let's see. You are 100% right, Big O. Vlad says. Michael Cody says, I agree, Big O. And if Tua somehow balls out, then we can decide to keep the younger, cheaper QB and move forward or trade for Watson. Exactly. Darren Lee says, you should be able to get a second round for Tua. I hope so. Second and more, maybe. Is any team clamoring to get Tua? That's my point. That's my point. There'll be teams that want Tua. There's no doubt about it. Other quarterbacks have been traded. Jacoby Brissett got traded, right? So plenty of quarterbacks have got traded. Matt Castle got traded for a second-round pick. So plenty of quarterbacks. Josh Rosen got traded. Plenty of guys get traded. So that Tua can get traded, and you could get a decent pick for him. And there's plenty of teams that need a quarterback, so they'll try. Kaja says right now the Dolphins organization is just playing the pretending game that they support Tua, and they're not. They've already moved on from Tua from last year when Watson wanted to come to Miami. Can't argue with that. Robert says that's because the Texans front office has been sabotaging our season with rumors over us making them look dumb for the Tunsil trade. Yeah, but if the agent and the Dolphins GM get together in the last offseason before the preseason started and said, hey, let's put a kibosh on this. Over. Let's talk about this next year. We will definitely make the trade. You open it up for us, but give me a year so I can build trade value so I can get rid of Tua. That way I can get things for Watson. But I can't have this distraction all year long. And then that way, when Houston talks, you can just say, I don't know what Houston's talking about. We have not talked to them about Tua, about trading or anything like that. We're committed to Tua. And that's it. You move on. And you can address it that way because you and the agent are in cahoots anyway. You don't give a shit what Houston says. Because if the player says, hey, screw you, you're either trading me to Miami or you're not trading me. And you're getting nothing. And Houston's not going to just get nothing. They're not going to stand on their laurels and say, oh, yeah, well, you're not controlling and we're not going to do that. We're not going to trade you at all. You're just going to sit there. Ha. They're not going to do that. They'll take their whatever picks, 3 first-rounders from Miami, and they'll move on. Big O, you are not crazy on this deal. However, I wish that Hopkins and Watt were still in Houston and were involved in this deal, and I would throw X in the deal. I mean, we're all getting that's fantasy now. Now we're all getting in fantasy talk. That all makes sense, but the Texans, the Finns, and DeShaun Watson have proven to be the most haven't proven to be the most sensible people out there. That is true. Brian says, "Oh, if Watson did something criminal, why didn't law enforcement get notified immediately? To me, this is a cash grab." Brian, it could be, and it may not. When people are sexually assaulted, they don't always go to the cops. Let's not assume that. So we don't know. It could be a money grab, and he could have assaulted some of these women. We don't know, dude. And I'm not going to assume. So I don't know. I wasn't there. You weren't there. It's too many people. It's 22 women. And he lied at first. He said it was all about massages, and then it ended up becoming consensual sex, supposedly. So you already caught DeShaun Watson in a lie. You see what I'm saying? So one side has already lied. We haven't found out if the other side is lying yet, but we already know Watson's lying because he's already been busted in a lie. So his credibility is already shot. And by the way, his judgment is already shot just by putting himself in this situation. So for the moment, okay, the way I see it right now, there is more irresponsibility on the Watson side. We will find out if these women, or maybe we never will, if these women have any kind of proof to help their case. But so far, the only credibility that I've questioned is is DeShaun's, not the women yet. I don't know them enough. I haven't seen them enough. I haven't caught them in a lie yet, but I already caught Deshaun Watson in a lie. That's the difference.